perhaps helps, and we'll all play at the end. Okay, well, contrary to other plans, we were going to do something clever. Merlin and I were going to do something clever this week, but events have taken over. So you've got a bit of a talk that I did at the second London workshop that Janet invited me to, and we're going to look about what we've got to gain and what we've got to lose with stopping drinking. So you all know me by now, or most of you know me, warts and all, and that I'm motivated by laziness, which means that I get to sit here and ask you to do things and you guys have to do the work. So you'll all preferably need a journal, because we know journaling's really good for helping with sobriety and for well-being in general, but otherwise get some paper, get a pen. So does anybody need to go and get a pen or a paper, or we're all set? We're all set. Okay, so today we're going to look at what we lose and what we gain when we stop drinking. I love this quote, and I would like you please all to write it down for me. Writing things is really, really good for you. So, people resist change because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. So I'll read that to you again. People resist change because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. And I'd just like you to think about that for a moment. So, are you going to be joyously rushing to sobriety when you're missing alcohol before you even start stopping drinking? And I think the answer to that's no. So the next little bit of the exercise is to put 2 column headings on your piece of paper with a bit of space underneath. So on the left, I'd like you to put, when I stop drinking, I lose. When I stop drinking, I lose. And on the right-hand side, I'd like you to put, when I stop drinking, I gain. Now, if anybody's sober and still wants to play, you can do this for any bad habit or any habit you're wishing to change. I really need to do it for sugar and chocolate. So, feel free to join in if you want to, and you can pick whatever thing you're trying to change. So now I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes, and I want you to write down, preferably without thinking too hard, what you're going to lose if you stop drinking or when you stop drinking, and what you're going to gain if and when you stop drinking. No thinking, just writing.
I can't think.
You could perhaps put 4 or 5 things on each side. That would be absolutely lovely. More if you've got them. And when you get bored, either look at me or put your hand up or give me a wave or something, and I'll know when everybody's had enough time. And you can come back to this later and add to both columns if you feel you need to.
Sorry, Lucy, did you want us to put it in the chat?
No, it's fine. Not at the moment, unless you're welcome to. I'm just preemptively doing some stuff so you can see it, because I've not got a slidey thing. So, but you're more than happy to. Has everybody got a few things? Do you want to carry on, or have you done enough?
I've got enough.
You've got enough?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was doing this, I went and asked the 6-month group. I mean, it's a little while ago now, but I asked the 6-month plus group what they'd lost and what they'd gained by stopping drinking. And I have put their answers into the chat, so you can have a look at it if you want, or if you feel like copying it out, you're welcome. But the gist of this is 6 months stopping people. What they decided they lost was hangovers and blackouts. They lost depression and anxiety, unexplained bruises, dodgy guts and bad skin, general poor health, a short and inconsistent fuse, having to apologise, self-loathing, worry, lethargy, being fat and unfit, energy vampires. So that's what they told me after 6 months. That's what they lost when they stopped drinking. And what they gained was peace, freedom, being present and living in the moment, self-belief and self-worth, calming and coping strategies, real friendships and meaningful relationships. They gained patience, time and money, health and beauty, getting a second chance. They gained creativity and hobbies, and they got another anniversary to celebrate. And when I look at those things, it looks very much to me like a win-win. What you think you might lose and what you actually lose are probably quite different. The things you lose are really negatives. They're not positives. They're good things to lose, and the things you gain are beautiful. So you win on both counts. What you lose, you win for, and what you gain, you win for. My biggest wins really was better health. You know, I haven't had to go back and have cameras poked all over the place since I stopped drinking. I struggle with depression. My depression improved dramatically. I became kinder and more patient and a more accepting person. If you'd known me before, you would probably realise that was quite true, although it might take a bit of justifying this week. And the big thing really, expecting less of myself and being more forgiving of myself. And that was a nice thing. So rather than it being a long drawn out thing, the fact we got the things written down, there's going to be some amazing things in the gains, but there's probably some things in the things you'll lose that you're really frightened of, or that you're concerned about, or you don't see as a positive for losing. You see them as a fear of the thing you're going to lose. So what I'm suggesting we do, having written those two things out, is that when we do the shares and go round, you can tell us any that you're concerned about, and then Janet and Annette and I and everybody else can try and give you some confidence that the things you're scared about aren't probably anywhere near as bad as you believe them to be. And actually the things that you will gain will far, far outweigh the loss of those things, even if they are, you know, if you do feel they are something you would miss. So that's about it for me, really. It was a short one, but I quite like a little exercise, and it's made you think. So over to Janet, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's great, Lucy. Thanks so much. I'll just turn the recording off.